We continue to follow breaking news this evening. This is a live look outside Trump Tower, where former President Donald Trump just arrived just a few minutes ago after today's historic ruling. Good evening, everybody, and thanks for joining us. I'm Sean Mooney.
And I'm Angelique Lizardi. Former President Donald Trump has been found guilty on all 34 felony charges that he faced in the so-called hush money trial against him.
After leaving court, Donald Trump called the verdict a disgrace and continued to claim he did nothing wrong. The former president says voters will have the final say in the case when they vote in the presidential election in November.
This was a rigged, disgraceful trial. The real verdict is going to be November 5th by the people. And they know what happened here, and everybody knows what happened here.
News 4 Tucson's political specialist Eric Fink joins us live here in studio with local party leaders' reaction to the verdict. Quite a day, Eric.
Well, Sean, Angelique, a day that we've never seen before. We are in uncharted territory. The first time in the history of this country a former president has been found guilty on criminal charges. Now, Donald Trump is also the presumptive nominee of the Republican Party in this fall's presidential election. And here in battleground Arizona, both parties weighing in tonight. It took the 12-member jury of 5 men and 7 women less than 12 hours to find the former president guilty on all 34 charges. Swift and sharp reaction coming tonight from the chairman of the Pima County Democrats and the chairman of the Pima County GOP.
It's going to have significant impact on Arizona voters. Arizona is replete with MAGA loyalists who have been part of the poison that Donald Trump has impacted on what used to be the GOP. And I believe there's a strong contingent in Arizona of independents who are going to find him additionally distasteful and who are going to be looking for a better alternative in this next election cycle, including all the races here in Pima County that are also so clearly important to us.
My gosh, this is not, look, love him or hate him, he still gets due process. My whole life was spent in law enforcement, and we had to build a case and build a case. And I've been sent back by state's attorneys to go back and get more evidence and more proof before we ever went to trial. Here we didn't have evidence or proof because we didn't even have a crime till the end. This is an embarrassment to the United States.
And former President Trump's sentencing is scheduled for July 11th. Now he could face a fine, supervision, or possibly prison time. And that July 11th sentencing date, that's just 4 days before the Republican National Convention is set to begin in Milwaukee. A historian at the U of A offers some perspective coming up at 6. I'm Eric Fink, News 4 Tucson. Sean, back to you.
All right, thank you, Eric. Democratic Representative Raul Grijalva is responding to these charges and the verdict, saying in part, quote, "The felony conviction of a former president marks an unprecedented event in American history. It is a moment of profound reckoning. It also underscores the importance of accountability and the evergreen truth that no one, regardless of their position or power, is above the law." Meanwhile, Kari Lake, a longtime Trump supporter and Republican candidate for Senate in Arizona, released the following statement, saying in part, quote, "We just witnessed the most egregious example of election interference and an outright mockery of the rule of law in the 246-year history of our republic. This entire process, right down to the verdict itself, has been nothing but a shameful political stunt." To continue following fallout from today's historic ruling, just download our News 4 Tucson mobile app for live updates.
And in another high